the man who would be king. The time, sometime before yesterday. The place, the north of India. The man who tells the story, Rudyard Kipling.
One Saturday night, it was my unpleasant duty to put the paper to bed alone. It was a pitchy black night, as stifling as night can be in India in June. It was very still, save for the ticking of the clock above my desk, which seemed to shatter the black heat of the night as the hands crept toward 3 a.m. And then from the passage outside my door,
Hey, Peachy.
I heard voices.
Your light burning.
And he must be here. Open the door.
Who's there?
Only us.
Who are you?
He don't remember us, Dan.
That he don't.
How could he forget having us turned back at the Jodhpur border? Told the authorities we was impersonating newspaper reporters, he did.
Wait. That flaming red beard and that bald head. Why, you're Daniel Dravett and Peachy Carnahan.
The same.
Well, what do you want? If it's money, I haven't any. If it's a fight, it's simply too beastly hot.
You can rest yourself easy, sir, because we've come asking for naught except some information.
We've been all over this country, and we've concluded that India isn't big enough for such as Daniel and me.
So we're going away to be kings.
Kings in our own divine right.
What?
Aye, we shall be kings.
We've signed a solemn contract, each to help the other, and neither of us to take a look at liquor or women until we become kings.
Why, I've never heard of such a fantastic idea. But what is it you want of me?
Naught but to look at such maps of Kafiristan as you might have about.
Maps of Kafiristan?
That's where we've decided to go.
But don't you realize that not one single Englishman has ever gone into the Kafiristan mountains and lived to come out again? If you're really mad enough to go there, you're a good deal more likely to become dead men than kings.
We shall see.
Anyway, I don't believe you have the slightest intention of traveling a mile outside of Delhi.
Then you should come down to the Serai marketplace in the morning, down where the caravans leave for the north.
Yes, come down to the Serai in the morning and see then if we be liars. Oh, thieves, robbers, liars, the blessing of Pir Khan upon all pigs, dogs, and perjurers. Who will take the protection of heaven?
You should not laugh at him, Sahib. The witless are under the protection of Allah.
Quite so, boy. Who is the fellow anyway?
A mad priest, Sahib, who has arrived only this morning from Ajmer.
Yes, Sahib. Come to look at my camels, loaded with toys to please the eye of an Amir.
Oh, here now. Go about your business. I haven't any use for toys.
These are wondrous toys indeed, Sahib. Fit for a king of Kafiristan.
What? Good Lord. Daniel Dravett.
Quiet. Come along. I've 2 camels just beyond the wall here. The blessings of Pir Khan on the gracious Sahib, who consents to look at the poor toys of a priest from Ajmer. Over this way.
Where's Carnahan?
Here we are. Permit me to present my servant, Hazir Mir Khan.
At your service, goodman.
Well, I'll be...
Do you like our disguises? Do they pass?
If they fool this crowd in the Serai, they're probably good enough to get you across the border and good enough to get you killed.
Getting killed is no part of the contract Peachy and me drawed up. Although perhaps killing fits in with our plans in a different sense. Feel around underneath the toys there in the camel bags.
What?
Go ahead.
Good Lord. Rifles.
20 brand new martinis with ammunition to match.
And 20 good reasons to make your death certain. Any Pathan of the hill tribes would kill his own mother to get a rifle.
Now who would harm a poor mad priest, Sahib? Allah protects me.
Mad is right.
Then so was Lord Clive and Rhodes and Bonaparte. Drive out the camels, Peachy. We've a long way to go before we become kings.
Oh, hey! Up!
As I stood and listened to the camel bells fade away in the distance, I wondered if it might not be a glorious thing to go to Kafiristan and be a king. 3 years pass in India much as they pass in any other land. It grows hot, then the rains come, and then the heat again. Some colonel at a hill station puts down an uprising. A new viceroy comes out from London, and the paper duly records the death of a sultan in Rajputana, and the trees in the courtyard grow a few feet taller. Finally, time in its circle turned up another night, much like the one 3 years before. Once again, I sat alone in the office, listening to the clock and waiting for some unimportant item to come over the wire from Europe. It was long after midnight when my office door slowly opened. I say, look here, you might knock first, you know.
Knock.
Good Lord, man. What's wrong?
You don't know who I am, do you?
No. No, I haven't the faintest idea. But here, you'd better sit down, old fellow. You're in a bad way.
Yes. Thank you. It's a whole year I've been walking. Right here in this very office we settled it. You sitting right there and giving us the maps. You've been sitting there ever since. 3 years.
No. Oh, no. Why, a man couldn't change that much in 3 years. You're not Peachy Carnahan.
Yes. I was king of Kafiristan. Me and Daniel Dravit. Real crown kings we was. Just as true as gospel.
What in the name of heaven had they done to you, Peachy?
Peachy? I knew Peachy Carnahan once. He's a king. Wears a real golden crown on his head, so help me, he does. He's dead now, though.
No. You're Peachy Carnahan. You must pull yourself together, man.
Yes. Pull myself. You got to keep looking into my eyes. Then maybe everything won't go to pieces.
All right. Now, tell me what happened, Peachy.
We left the caravan at Jagdala. We struck off into the hills alone.
Go on.
Weeks it was we traveled, Daniel and me. First there wasn't no roads, and after a while, no food. But there was always the drums. Sometimes they was close, and sometimes farther off. But most of the time we could hear them somewhere.
Oi, hup! Move along, up! Here now, it's no place to be stopping. Up with you.
I'm fearing it's no use, Daniel.
What's got into them?
The poor beasts are done in and starved, same as ourselves. They'll go no further.
Then we'll go on without them. I've not come this far to die on the side of a mountain.
Wait. Look, Daniel. Over the edge of the rocks.
What? Oh, men they are.
There'll be a score or more of them. One goes ahead of the rest.
And naught but bows and arrows. Break out a pair of the rifles, Peachy.
Right you are, Daniel.
It's now that we start to become kings.
Here, and some cartridges, too.
Easy now, Peachy. I'll drop the straggler at the rear first, and then we'll lay a few at their feet. No harm to the one in front. We may need him. Now. Got him by the old neck! Lay on, Peachy!
Hold it, Daniel! Look at them!
Aye, flat on their blooming faces.
The leader is come out alone.
Well and good, and we'll go part way to meet him, Peachy. But keep your rifle by.
Look at him, Daniel. He be as fair as us, with yellow hair.
So he does. Part of the lost tribes, these people are.
He stopped.
I await your command, O ye who speak in the voice of thunder.
Oh, the Lord Harry. Peachy, we're in luck. It's the old Afghan tongue he speaks. Speak up! Who are you, and whence do you come?
I am High Priest and the chief of the village of Bashkai. A journey of only a few heartbeats.
This Bashkai, how many people?
They are numbered in the thousands.
There are more villages in the hills?
More than a man has fingers and toes.
Hear that, Peachy? Here's our kingdom made to order. And you're going to take us to Bashkai. Do you understand?
I understand the voice of thunder that you speak.
Oh, he's a smooth one, Peachy. He knows a thing or two. What's your name?
Mazur Khan Jagdalur.
That's too long. What shall we call him, Peachy?
He has a look about him of an old soldiering friend of ours, Billy Fish.
So he does. We bestow a new name on you. From now on, you will be Billy Fish.
As you command, I obey.
All right. Put this on your drums. Tell them 2 kings have come out from the mountaintops. 2 kings that speak in words of thunder so the earth trembles. Tell them 2 kings have come to Kafiristan. That you, Peachy?
Daniel, why be you sitting here in the dark?
I've been thinking. A man has to stop and think sometimes.
About anything special, Daniel?
Look at 'em, Peachy. Look at their blinking campfires a-gleaming in the dark like the jewels in a crown.
Aye, Daniel. You've done a fine job for sure. All 23 villages you joined together as one.
'Tis the army you trained to be thanked for it. 2,000 men with a fair knowledge of bearing arms.
Some's a bit green at it yet.
They're ours now, every man, jack, woman, and child. We own 'em, body and soul.
Aye, we're kings now, Daniel. Not proper kings yet, but we will be.
Sooner than you think, Peachy.
How's that?
Billy Fish told me something today that fair amazed me. These people know the craft.
You mean they're Freemasons, Daniel? It ain't no wise possible.
So help me, it's gospel true. He give me the grip and everything. It's old, the craft is, older than the memory of man. And up here in the hills, they've been preserving it all these years. Why, some of the high priests know up through the fellow craft, but they don't know the 3rd degree. See it, Peachy? They don't know the 3rd degree, but we do.
Daniel, what is it you're fixing to do?
We're going to be proper kings. We're going to get 'em going and coming now. I'm going to turn the whole country into one grand lodge, raise some of the priests to 3rd degree, and for me, I'll be the Grand Master of Kafiristan.
Oh, but you ain't got the right to. We never been officers in no lodge.
Right? What's a king got to do with asking for a right?
Oh, I'm against it, Daniel. It's no good to go fooling around with the craft.
Ah, you talk like an old woman. The thing'll work, I know it will. We'll make it a blooming ceremony. Regular aprons with the symbol and the marks. All of us, Peachy. The kings of Kafiristan.
Everything is prepared, Master. And the priests and the people wait.
Well, they don't have to wait much longer, Billy. Here now, Peachy. How do you like my apron?
It's a wondrous sight for fair, Daniel.
Made of white ermine skin it is, and the master's mark with emeralds studded.
The mark? You know the meaning of the mark?
That I do. What's got into you, Billy?
Not. But 'tis a thing that's passing strange, Master.
Strange and rubbish. Come along now. Ready, Peachy?
Right with you, Daniel.
Then out we go. Onto the temple steps. We'll give 'em what for. Knock their blinking eyes out. That's what we'll do. Look at 'em, Peachy! Right down on their blooming knees and yelling their full heads off.
Oh, it's a good thing to be a king, Daniel.
The mark! Behold! The mark!
Tis a sign.
The promised ones have come.
Here now. What's wrong with the priest, Billy?
It looks like trouble, Daniel.
No, stand where you are, Master. They recognize the mark.
That great stone in the floor. Why do they turn it over?
Wait.
It's the same!
He bears the mark.
The promised ones have come.
Speak up, Billy Fish. What's the meaning of it?
See for yourself. Look.
Daniel, carved on the back of the stone.
'Tis the master's mark, all right.
And the same as the sign you wear. Only a few of the priests have known of the hidden mark on the stone.
What does it mean?
The many who have doubted you were a god doubt no longer.
And you, Billy? What do you think?
I, Master? I think that now it is the time for these.
Daniel! Golden crowns!
Aye, how they glitter. Fit for the brow of a king.
'Tis what we came for.
Here now, put 'em on. We'll crown ourselves in our own right. Listen to 'em. You know something, Peachy? We come here to be kings, and that we are, all right. But blamed if we ain't a couple of blooming gods to boot, with 1,000,000 people bowing on their knees before us.
Well enough, Peachy. So it was gods you became as well as kings. But then, what happened? What became of Daniel Dravett?
Dravett? I knew Daniel Dravett once. He's a king now, Daniel is. Wears a golden crown. Conan was with him.
Peachy, try to pull yourself together.
I'll try.
Now, you became kings, you and Daniel. Kings of all Kafiristan.
He was a fine figure, Daniel was, with his red head wearing that golden crown. Kept himself aloof from the people, so to speak. And when he walked up o'er the temple, they fair crawled on their stomachs to worship him.
But what happened, man?
Happened? Well, I figure mostly it was winter coming on. The winds were starting up, and the clouds was blowing down from the north. Oh, it could blow beastly cold, that winter wind.
Hey? Who's out there? That you, Billy? Confound it anyway. Here now. What's this?
I have brought you food, Master. Stew of the wild sheep with curry and rice.
Up off your knees, girl. Bring it inside.
Thank you, Master.
Place it there. Now, you're a well-favored wench.
I do not understand.
Why were you crawling on your knees?
'Tis a fitting way to approach the god of Kafiristan.
What's your name, girl?
Maruma Benja.
Marum, eh? You married?
It has not yet been my happy fortune, Master.
Are you afraid of me?
You are a god.
I mean, how do I seem to you? Do you find me pleasing or what?
Your face is more wondrous than the noonday sun. And your look, the look of eagles.
Very well, you may leave now.
Thank you, Master.
Marum, eh? Peachy! Peachy!
Is you calling me, Daniel? Oh, the food's here, eh? Good.
Not that wind outside. Winter's about due to strike and fill the trails with snow. There'll be little moving about afore spring.
Right you are.
Peachy, I've decided to take a wife.
But you can't do it, Daniel. We made a contract.
That was till we was kings. Well, kings we've been many months now.
Oh, but it's no good. I tell you now, I'm against you.
Against it? You was against using the craft too. But look what it done for us.
Oh, but this is different. Billy Fish will tell you no, too, the same as I do.
Billy Fish, huh? Who's the king here, him or me? My mind's made up. 3 days from now, I shall have me a wife. And you can put it on the drums and tell every blighter out there in the hills. The kingdom of Kafiristan is going to have a queen. keeping her, Peachy? They should have brought her in here half an hour ago.
I don't know, Daniel.
How about you, Billy Fish? You put 'em up to stalling off deliberate like?
Certain preparations must be made, Master.
She's across the court with some of the priests. Maybe they're trying to hearten her up a bit, Daniel. She thinks she's going to die, you know.
Aye, indeed. Why, I'm only...
Master, it is against the laws of heaven for a woman to marry a god.
I'm not a god, I'm a man. You know that by now, Billy.
No, and I should not want to think so, Master. But either way, this can mean only trouble. I beg you to reconsider.
And I beg you to shut up, Billy. I'm through waiting. I'm going over there.
Master, please.
We got to go with him, Billy. And I'm thinking it's going to mean trouble. How many men can you depend on?
No more than 20 with rifles. Most of my men are in Bashkai.
Then what shall we do?
We shall have to make a run for it, I fear. We might be safe in Bashkai.
Come on now, you smuggling fools. Bring out the girl. Well, now, that's better. Here, girl, this is no way for a bride to behave. A smile now, and give us a kiss. Oh! The wench has bitten me.
Blood, Master. Don't let them see the blood.
Look! See the blood! He's not a god or a devil, but only a man!
Here, Tuss, what is this rot?
Stand straight.
Mark, Daniel, they're coming with knives.
They can't do this. I'm the king.
You've got to run for it, Master.
Oh, come on, Daniel, come on.
I'll come back and beat their blasted heads in. That's what I'll do.
Oh, Daniel, we'll be back all right.
How much further, Billy?
Only a short way beyond this ridge, Master.
Well, so far, so good. At last, them blooming drums are stopped.
We're at the top, Daniel.
A right good climb it's been.
Oh, wait. Look. It seems the drums have come before us, Master.
Cut off. No less than 1,000 of them standing there quiet-like, with them wicked long knives in their hands.
There'll be no getting past them, Daniel.
No, we're done for. Go back, Billy Fish, and take your men away with you. Go with him, Peachy. It's me they want. I did it. Me, the king.
No, Dan. I'm sticking with you. Billy Fish, you clear out.
I am your friend. I stay with you.
You're a good man, Billy.
Maybe coming now, Daniel.
Peachy.
Forget it, Daniel. I forgive you freely and fully.
Then let them come. There'll be one thing they can't change, Peachy. We've been kings. Kings in our own right. Kings of old Papuristan.
Sliced open poor Billy Fish like a bloomin' Helen they did. There in the snow and the rocks.
Good Lord, man. But you, Peachy, you got away from them.
Like nowhere did I get away from 'em. They had us for fair, all right. Strung me out on a tree. Drove nails right through my hands, they did. See? But I fooled them all right. 'Cause morning came, I wasn't nowise dead. And then I made them think I'd lost my senses. They was afraid to harm me because I was protected by Allah. They cut me down then, and after a while, they let me go.
You poor devil. But what of Drabbit? What happened to Daniel?
Daniel's the king. He wears a golden crown.
But now, what happened to him?
He's never left me. All them long months walking on the road back, he kept me safe. The mountains, they danced at night, but Daniel held up his hand and Peachy came along, bent double. I never let go of Daniel's hand, nor Daniel's head that they gave me in the temple as a present. It's with me now, here, in this bundle. You knew old Daniels, him that was a monarch once. Look at him now. Well, and now you've seen that we was really kings. I'll be on my way. You'll pardon me, sir?
I let him go. There was little else to do. He was only hours away from his death. I sat there and stared at the bundle he had left lying on my desk, stared as the pale shafts of dawn struck fire in the red beard, stared at the golden crown, sitting too large and heavy upon the wrinkled, mummified head of Daniel Dravett, the man who would be king.
Escape is produced and directed by William N. Robeson. Tonight's story, Rudyard Kipling's The Man Who Would Be King, was adapted for radio by Les Crutchfield and featured Raymond Lawrence as Peachy, Eric Snowden as Daniel Dravett, and Herbert Rawlinson as Kipling. Musical effects.
Check, testing, 1, 2, test. Fuck it. What's up, little brother? No way! Oh my god, like totally for sure, dude. Oh, no way. Oh my god, what does that do? Oh, ah! Ah! That's heavy. I don't want to fade through white. So what's going on, people? I'm drinking coffee, man. No, I did not go out to open mic last night. I didn't make it. I did not make it. Absolutely. I'm kind of bummed because I'm not going to be able to go out for a while. So, but I decided, you know what? I'm going to go out Thursday and Friday, so I can take it easy. Besides, we had a few houses yesterday to clean, and I got pretty whooped. So we finished up one house that has gone to monthly rental now. So I'm going to go back over there this morning when I'm done here and replace a lock on a closet door with a real handle. Right now it's got one of those push-button coated handles. Lock, you know, because it's a utility closet right now, but we're going to turn it back into a hall closet. And then I'm going to, you know, put the dishes away and kind of straighten the place up a little bit. We cleaned it yesterday, so I just want to make sure that everything is copacetic for the new tenants who are going to move in monthly over there at Alta Vista. And most importantly, I just want to let them know, you know, welcome to the neighborhood. And if there's anything in the house they don't need, just to start a pile in the garage, you know, stack everything up in a corner nicely. And when we get a big enough stack, we'll swing by and pick it up. Or have them bring it over to the other house, to the garage where they can store it. But we're going to leave, you know, bedding and towels, pots and pans, and furniture. And then whatever they decide they don't need, they can just kind of pack up in the boxes that they're unpacking from, I guess. So that's totally cool. I went over to the reservation last night after Minecrafting and picked up not just a bag of doobage, not just a really good bag of bud, because I'm a smoker. I'm a smoker and a toker and a midnight stroker. So I also got a huge bag of edibles because I will be going off the smoke next week. And I want to make sure to be set for the edibles so that I don't have to deal with... I don't want to fall back into the whole pain thing. And I know if I stop smoking and start with the pain pills because of my procedure, my pain's going to go wonky. So basically, I picked up some indica edibles, which the indica is what does it for my body pain. Sativa is great for a head high, but indica is good for a body high, which just means that it takes your pain away. Takes the pain away, which is what I like. I like to be pain-free as often as I can. It's not too often, but, you know. So, yeah, what's going on over there, Joey? What have you been doing, man? What's up? Did you get my milk and eggs? No, I had to go out yesterday and get them myself. I drove all after work at about noon 30. I'm like, all right, I'm off early. I can shoot out to 29, get what I need to do, and then come back and relax and actually go out last night. And I didn't. I drove all the way to 29, went to the store, got in the store to get some groceries and get some cash back. And what do you know? I didn't have my license or my ATM card. They were still in my pocket of my jacket from being at Pappy and Harriet's the other night. So I had to drive all the way back from 29 with just a few groceries. And then after my show, I drove all the way back in the evening at about 7 o'clock, 7:30. I drove all the way to 29 and back. Sardines and energy drinks. Oh, you eat sardines? Okay. Well, I didn't know anyone that eats, like, sardines. I consider sardines a survival food. Like canned beans, canned fruit. Wild combo. It is a wild combo. It is. Energy drinks and sardines. Could you imagine sardines on energy drinks? Right? Oh, I hear a dog. I hear a dog. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. I'll be right back. Oh, really? Sam made your bed again, huh? All right, well, I'll try to straighten it up next time I can. Does that mean now? Okay, I'll straighten up your bed now. Let me get your bed here. Wait for it. Wait for it. There you go. Come on. There you go. Okay. Now she's in her bed. She got in there and she's like, it's uncomfortable. Sam made my bed again and he just messed it up. Huh. I'll have to see if Natalie likes that, because she likes cream cheese bagels. She likes salmon, lox and bagels. She likes tuna. So maybe she'll be into that. Totally. And hot sauce, huh? Now, see, that sounds like something my wife would like. You know, because she's Mexican and she eats a lot of weird stuff. And quite often with hot sauce. So, there you go. I'm hoping we have some new viewers at some point. I noticed a new subscriber, which doesn't happen too often lately. But I'm hoping somebody from this weekend is going to stop by and say, hey, what's going on, man? You are weird. Yeah, I'm here to pump you up. I'm not here to fuck with your mind. Yeah. I am the governor of my own world. It's a spectacular place. Spectacular. It's spectacular. It's freaking fantastic. Yeah, cut that out. King Oscar is your favorite brand of sardines. King Oscar. Well. What was that? Angry Norwegian sardines, right? Angry Norwegian. That's the can of sardines. Television Tuesday. I don't know why I remember this fucking shit. Angry Norwegian is the can of sardines that Fry buys at the auction in the year 3000, right? And he buys it because he's on this retro kick. He just got a bunch of money and he's on this retro kick. So he goes out and buys a bunch of vintage stuff. One of the things he buys is an old can of Angry Norwegian sardines that, of course, the Mom Corp wants, so that they can take it and implant that DNA into a bunch of third world kids and use their sweat glands to produce oil. But I just remember the Angry Norwegian sardines, so there you go. There's my Television Tuesday reference for the day. Anybody know what I'm talking about? I don't know why I remember such obscure crap. But I hit my daughter up. She's seen like every episode of Futurama like a dozen times, right? And I hit her up, and I was like, do you remember this? And she's like, no. And I'm like, dude, Futurama. And she's like, oh my God, how do you remember that crap? I don't know. Because that's the shit that sticks up here. Crap. I try to remember important stuff, and it's gone, baby. It's gone. Real gone, baby. Oh, that sounds like sipping coffee. Oh, baby. So anyway, I keep seeing people coming and going and going and coming and leaving and see, you know what I'm talking about. Fucking Futurama, man. I am like the Futurama kid. The first theme that my daughter was into when she was 2 years old, she used to bounce up and down on the couch during the opening theme of Futurama, right? She was totally into Futurama she still loves Futurama. We have the box sets. We have every episode of Futurama that has been out before Hulu. So now it's like, okay, now we got to get the Hulu versions, because there was Comedy Central. They did that for a while on Comedy Central. They did like 4 movies, and then they did a reboot to the series, and it's just amazing that they just cannot kill Futurama. They just can't kill it. You know what? If you haven't catch up because, once they left Fox, we thought they were dead, and then Comedy Central picked them up. Actually, they did those movies. They did those 4 movies, and those were really cool. And then Comedy Central picked them up for a few seasons, and then they died again, and then were resurrected on frickin' Hulu. And they're actually really, really good shows. They are. You can tell that they're slightly different in the writing, right? But it's the same. It's the same show, the same actors, the same characters. You can hear the voice actors getting a little bit older, but it's still good stuff. My daughter and I still love to sit and watch Futurama together. And she's like, "Oh, guess what? There's new episodes." Yeah, that's totally cool. I dig it. I totally dig it, man. But yeah, you should check it out, dude. Futurama kicks ass still. I haven't seen The Simpsons in decades. I haven't even seen a Simpsons TV promo in decades. I don't even watch Fox anymore. I haven't seen Fox in decades. I just haven't. I mean, I stopped watching them when Futurama and That 70s Show went off. That was it. That was all. That was all she wrote, baby. And so now I can continue to watch new episodes of Futurama on Hulu. I can continue to watch new episodes of That 90s Show, which is a really good show. And that's on Netflix. If you haven't seen That 70s Show, watch it. If you haven't seen that 80s show, watch it. If you haven't seen that 90s show, watch it. It's really good television. All right? No matter what dimension you're watching it. That 80s show is bizarre. It takes place in California, not Wisconsin. It's completely removed from the Foremans and all of that back in Wisconsin. Has nothing to do with any of that. I thought that if this show would have gone into a second season, that 80s show, that they would have had one of that 70s show characters show up in the middle of the 80s and just have them kind of buzz through an episode, right? Not really be a part of the episode, just kind of show up. Maybe somebody shows up at the record shop and buys a record or something, and just has like a cameo. But alas, that 80s show did not last. I've got all of that 70s show on DVD. I bought the DVD box set. Why? Why, you ask? Because it's that 70s show. Give me a break. It kicks ass. Yeah, I love that show. I'm hoping that 90s show goes at least as many seasons. It's great because you get to see the further exploits of the Foreman parents, right? Which is pretty much the core of the original That 70s Show. Wasn't really the kids, it was the house. It was the parents' house where they all hung out all the time. And I remember having one of those, so several of those houses back in the 70s and especially the 80s, where there was a house where everybody went to and hung out. Whether you were in their yard or in the house, in the living room, in their kitchen, in the bedrooms, hanging out in the bathrooms. I mean, there were a few houses in Lake Elsinore back in the 80s that were just the places to be all the time. All the friggin' time. I'm going in, cover me. Wow. So this latest stuff I got is Cornfield Blaze. Cornfield Blaze. Wow. It sure blazes my cornfield. Ah, jeez. Yeah, it's some kick-ass shit. It is an indica, which is good, because it gives me a good body high. It does have a decent head change to it, which is cool. I don't like to smoke to get all, you know. I smoke for two main reasons: depression and pain. First one and the other. Yeah. Gosh, it's just after 5. I'm really going to miss doing this morning show here for a couple of weeks. I'm going to get to episode 180 on Friday. 180 episodes of Season 3. Seasons 1, 2, and 3 have all taken place inside of a year. Season 1 was 32 episodes. Season 2 was 36 episodes. And so far we're at 177 here, I believe. Yeah, that's a lot of me time. I've never had so much me time. I've never had so much meaningful me time where I get to be me and just focus on whatever I want to do, you know. Usually it's a trade, you know. I get to think about me a little bit, and I got to think about everybody else a lot, and that's kind of the way it is in the world. When I'm sitting here for 3 hours every morning, Monday through Friday, I don't have to worry about anything but what I want to worry about, what I want to do. Well, maybe get up and deal with dogs, but for the most part, it's just me time. And that's what I really love about this. So I'm going to have to keep the conversation going, to keep the feeling alive, right? Because this has done it for me, and I don't want to give this up. I don't want it to just be a one-off experiment. It started as an experiment. How can I do a thing on YouTube? What can I do? How long will it last? You know, is it even worth the trouble? I mean, and then I realized pretty much right away within the first season that it was worth the trouble because it was helping me cope. You know, and I had just come out of a horrible relationship with a friend who had come to stay and get help, and they just flat out refused to be helped, and then ran away. I'm a big baby. So it destroyed me because of all the time and effort and money that we put into helping this person, and they just fucked us over. That one person just, you know, when somebody from your past, somebody that you really, really respect and admire, fucks you over, when all you're trying to do is help. I was devastated. I was crushed. And it was this show, it was getting on here every morning that saved me. Kept me from that horrible darkness that was taking over. Yeah. But I survived. And I thrived. And I have a feeling I'm going to be doing a lot of reading this year. Figure if I'm going to be doing a lot of doctor visits and hospital stuff, I'm probably going to be doing a lot of reading. I'm going to be I'm going to rely a lot on my phones and computers. If I've got to be, especially if I've got to do like an actual hospital stay, which That scares me to death, being inside of a hospital 24/7 for whatever amount of time, 24 hours a day, for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days more, 8, 9, shut up. So that's kind of a bummer. The bummer of, okay, it's time to go, visiting time is over, and then being left with just hospital staff, you know. I'm not going to say anything bad about hospital staff that I don't even know, but hospital staff that I have known, a lot of them have been really half-assers. So, yeah. I'm hoping to just continue along pretty much the same lines as I have been, and you know, just keep doing what I've been doing. That's it. That's pretty much all I can do. And then with the doctors and the hospital, I'm just going to work that in around my schedule. I'm not going to try to fit my schedule around doctor shit. I'm just going to say, okay, look, this is what I do. You know, I need my mornings. I got to have my flight. So I'm not going to do doctor visits in the mornings because I want my fucking mornings. I need my afternoons because we got to work. We got to fucking, you know, survive, earn a living. So it's going to have to be evenings. And then it's going to have to be evenings where I'm not doing my own shit, right? I'm not going to let whatever is wrong with me take over my life, right? If I can be helped, it'll have to be done when I have the time to fucking deal with it, right? Basically. That's it. I don't want to, you know, let this fucking health bullshit slow me down. I got a lot of shit to deal with. I still haven't gotten calendars. I did finish uploading the week of February the 17th. Yeah, I did finish it. The last thing I uploaded for Friday the 21st of February at 4 p.m. is an educational film called Cancer. And some other things that week are Our Friend the Policeman, Collage, Sexuality, the Human Heritage, and Symmetry. So I've got one more week of February to upload. I'm not going to make the whole end of the year thing. I'll have the stuff, I'll start uploading this morning, and I'll have it finished hopefully by tomorrow. And I will have 2 months out. And then I am going to take a week and I'm going to take the rest of this week and continue to upload as much as I can and try to get a little further out so that when I enter into next week and start chewing on the first week of January in earnest, that I've actually got 8 weeks, right? After that week that I'm in, I've got 8 weeks past that. And then every couple of weeks, I'm just going to load up a shitload more of stuff and then work on stuff for a couple of weeks on, couple of weeks off. Mainly trying to get focused on honing my new schedule of live shows and recorded shows. The Video Time Machine is off the air for the month of January while I retool. I didn't want to invest any time into something that is really going to begin anew. So there's that. Let's see. The first live show that we come back with, of course, is going to be Minecrafting Monday. the second live show that we come back with is probably going to be a week after that, and it will be the Nighttime Nonsense and Nostalgia. And then a week after that, we'll come back with a Video Time Machine, and then the following week, we will invest in some other kind of live program, so that following the introduction of all of that, at some point every week, I'll take a day, Monday through Thursday, and have some kind of live programming. It'll happen once a month per theme show. I think is the best way to do it. And, Monday evenings, maybe after Minecrafting, or Monday afternoon, depending on what my schedule calls for. I still have to hook up with my daughter and figure out what her university schedule is going to be. My work schedule is cleaning houses, so it varies. It changes. It can be dead calm, and then all of a sudden I keep looking out to a week that's nothing, and then just when I get to that week and I've got things planned for that week, the houses are booked, and I'm cleaning houses every day. So it can change at the drop of a dime. So I have to be ready for that. Plus the doctor's schedule crap and all the other little things coming up. So this year, and plus the reunion and shirts and all of that as well. So there's a lot really going on all the time. I've been off of dealing with shirts and reunion stuff, mainly because it's been the holidays and I'm not going to go screw with people. I'm going to come back with something soon. Hope you enjoyed the holidays. Now let's talk about the reunion. It's 8 months away, yada, yada, yada. I can't really think about creating a video unless I do it in the next couple of days. But then I'm going to come back in a few months and have different teeth. So I'm thinking, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to do some advertising stuff that is kind of akin to the 1950s, and do something like that, and use old stock footage, 1950s films and that kind of thing, and big, bright, bouncy captions that 3D out to the screen, that kind of stuff. So, Vienna. Yeah, it'll be fun. And then maybe find, I don't know, find someone to be my voice for a while. If I can write some good copy, and then just video chat with one of my friends and say, here, read this for me. Like my brother, just text him some copy, say, here, text this to your wife, read it off of her phone while we're live on your phone, and let's read it through a couple of times, piece at a time, and then I'll just take the best copies of everything and piece it all together and use it for a commercial, right? So we'll see. It just depends on where I'm at, when I'm at, Shut up. Yeah, see, you can host the show for me. Well, you don't want to be on camera, or do you? Do you? You would be perfect, actually, because you look exactly the way that we looked back then. All right, you have the all of your physical features look almost identical to like several guys that I knew back then. Right? It's it's uncanny, right? Even the way you talk. So it would be actually pretty cool if I were to put you in a 1980s setting, in 1980s clothes, right? And you were to even I'll write the language, you don't have a computer. Oh, well, see, that's it. Actually, you don't need a computer. We can use your phone. We can set your phone up and have you video chat with me on Messenger. And then I take it on my end, I run it through a computer and record it into another one through a mixer, so that we just record pieces. Okay, take one and then you read a line, basically. And I take the audio and use the audio, and every once in a while I use you speaking the audio, and that's it. But that would be cool. Well, if you would do it, then you could do it, because all you need is a phone. And we'll get you a little wardrobe too. We need to get you probably no-tell motel Catfish Corner shirts. So I know you probably don't wear hats, but a hat is a good prop, because you can have some kind of 1980s logo or something going on in a hat. Yeah, so pretty much jeans and a t-shirt and a hat, and then maybe some kind of jacket or vest or something that says 80s. Now, back in the 80s, we had kind of a group of guys that were called the VKs, and that stood for Virgin Killers. And don't take this the wrong way. The way I saw the phrase Virgin Killer was that none of us had ever been in a war. None of us were killers. None of us were guys who had ever taken a life. All right? So therefore, we were virgin killers. A lot of people took that differently, like the album Virgin Killers by the Scorpions. You bought a cowboy hat recently. Oh, right on. Yeah, you better just move over here. It'll be easier. It'll be easier. Actually, I do need somebody to collaborate with, and if I were to collaborate with somebody who's young, like I was back then, it would just be a kind of a, I could get you to do all the things that I was doing back then, or the other guys were doing, right? And it would look normal for someone your age to be doing the things that we were doing back then. It looks weird for an old guy to be doing the things that we were doing back then, especially if I were to use old cameras and old videotape and put everything in the scene is from the 1980s, right? That would be extremely awesome. I could be your old uncle or something in the 1980s. So let's see, you bought a denim jacket. See, that's neat, because the jacket that we used for our group, our gang of guys, it was a denim jacket vest. It was a denim jacket with the sleeves cut off, and I drew on the back, a pentagram, and of course on the pentagram was a girl upside down, strapped to this pentagram. So I did all of this hand-drawn and liquid embroidery on everybody's vest, and we had like 5 or 6 guys had vests. I lost my vest after some time. I don't know where it went. Sometime in the 90s I lost it, but I'd love to recreate that. But yeah, denim, and it was a denim jacket over a denim vest over a leather jacket was the thing. So I had I think I had Andy's brother's members only jacket that I wore for a lot of time during the 80s, because it was big, but he had outgrown it, and I was honored to wear it a lot because he had passed away. So, yeah. My coffee warmer. Yeah, but I totally see where we could totally work together collaborating on stuff where I could like put you into the 80s, you know, doing stuff that we did back then, you know. Write little skits for like old guy, young guy skits. That would be funny. Old guy, young guy. We could even call it that, old guy, young guy. Hey, old guy, yeah, young guy. Totally. Totally. Oh, black denim jacket. That is cool. Now, my wife got me a denim jacket last Christmas. And she got it for me because it is the exact same jacket that I wore back in high school. Not the denim vest one, but another denim jacket that I wore back in high school that I've got a ton of pictures of me wearing this denim jacket. Let me grab it. Is that. So this is it here, and it's one of those really cool denim jackets with the wool inside, and it's an actual Levi's jacket, just like the one I used to wear, and I love it. I love it. I mean, I love it so much I hardly want to wear it, because if I wear it, I've got to wash it, and if I wash it, it's going to fade, right? And it's like I don't want to change it at all. So I wear it on occasion when it's really cold. Put a ski hat on and bundle up with a scarf. It's just a great jacket, and it's a great time machine wardrobe piece, right? I mean, I can literally at any time put on 20 different outfits that take me back, right? I mean, not just vintage retro looking shirts, but actual shirts from the 1980s. I can put them on, and a pair of 501s and a pair of Argyle socks and some Vans, and all of a sudden I'm in the past, right? Oh, I know denim is meant to fade. Believe me, I've been fading my whole life. But the thing is that I don't want this jacket to fade beyond new faded jeans, right? So that I can always buy a new pair of jeans that's going to match this jacket, because the jacket doesn't get worn out in the sun as much as the pants do. So I'm wearing a pair of pants that match the jacket, like perfectly color-wise. And then all of a sudden, after a while, the pants are lighter. So it's easier to just every 6 months to a year get a new pair of 501s that I can wear with the jacket that match perfectly. And otherwise, I wear that jacket and like a pair of corduroy pants, so that I'm not wearing denim on denim, right? I like to wear it. I'll wear a freaking denim suit, right? The denim shirt, the denim vest, the jacket, the slacks. I'll wear all fucking denim. Who was that used to wear all denim suits? What, Mr. Hurley from Three's Company? Yeah, that's me, baby. Oh, I love it. I love jeans faded. Believe me, I love faded jeans. Faded denim shorts cut off. And a denim jacket, for sure, faded. And maybe even frayed and torn up and little, dings and stuff in it. But this particular jacket, yeah, this particular jacket, it means so much that I don't want it to fade. I want it to stay true blue, well, for long enough. A lot of these things, is this a picture from Joey? I knew it. What do you got? Oh, see, that's a nice denim jacket, dude. Totally. Is this one gonna fade to like a reddish something? That's really nice. Oh, it's got the side pockets. Does it got inside pockets? That's very cool. It probably doesn't have room for inside pockets. It doesn't have a liner, right? That is very cool. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Totally bitchin', dude. Yeah, man. That's totally cool. That's totally cool. Yeah, you can't see what the hell that is, huh? It looks like a ghost face. Ooh. 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 Look at the eyes and the ears hanging down. Looks like he's a mask. Ooh. All right, that's enough of that. That's enough of that shit. That is very cool, dude. Yeah, I plan to give this jacket to my daughter at some point. It's like, okay, baby, it's all yours. Of course, she'll know it when it happens. There's a bunch of stuff that is supposed to be sold off and given away when I'm gone. But there's a lot of stuff that is meant for my daughter. Matching jeans. It will fade gray. Okay, cool. That's bitchin'. Like all of my t-shirt collection. All my 100 t-shirts. Over 100. Hopefully, by then it'll be over 100. All of those go to my daughter. She says she'll wear them as pajamas, which is very cool. So I'll always be keeping her cozy. And a few of my other jackets will go to her, and maybe at some point she'll have Mom take like my corduroy shirt jacket and maybe take it and alter it and turn it into a smaller jacket, right, for my daughter, or just leave it big. I don't know. Leave it big and have it big and warm and floppy and cozy. And all of my records, they all go to my daughter. And then all of my memorabilia stuff, my vintage collectible stuff, all of my photos of me with, people like Joey and Pete Wentz and Big Sandy and all of that. Oh, it does have pockets on the inside. Very cool. That's awesome. That's awesome sauce. Yeah, baby. I gotta make sure to not just wipe my face, but wipe this cup so I'm not leaving a ring on my coffee cup warmer. I don't want to get it dirty or cause any heating issues. But it does get warm, and it keeps that coffee nice and toasty. It's very cool, man. Yeah, planning for the future used to mean planning on being in it. And now planning the future isn't so much that anymore. It's more about, planning how I'm going to be remembered, I guess. Right? Totally. Just the last couple of years, man, I've really been feeling my mortality and then getting sick a lot and having health issues. That doesn't help. So, it's just a good idea to take care of things. Do what you can. Get as much accomplished as you can. Yeah. I mean, whether I live for 6 months or 6 years or 16, who knows? Who knows? But I just want to make sure that I'd wrap it up. Don't leave anything on the table. Don't leave anything undone. Do as much as I can friggin' do. Do what you gotta do when you can do what you can do, right? Huh? What the hell does that mean? Hey, Marge, he's getting weird again. Leave him alone, Harry. And get in the kitchen, damn it. Yeah. I have a C written here on my hand. My notepad, my memory. It's always been that. Since I was in high school, I used to have to write notes right here on my hand, little initials and notes and things to remind me about stuff. Because I always see my hands when I'm working. It's like, oh, what's that? Oh, yeah, right. It's the poor man's string on a finger, right? What are all those strings on? Well, this is to remind me what this string is. This is to remind me. Yeah. So I just jot down a little note here, and it'll remind me to bring. This is C, and it reminds me to bring a cortador, right? A cutter, a sawzall, and a wood blade to cut a tree that is kind of dead and sitting there and sagging and splitting in the front yard of this house. So I'm going to go over and chop that thing up and throw it into a pile. And I'll probably cut it up so that I can throw a lot of the branches and leafy stuff away. It's the trees with those little balls on it. It's a male. And I'll probably chop it up so that I can save the wood in manageable pieces and stack that up. Let that dry and then bring it home. I got a lot of wood at home. We got a shitload of wood in the backyard that we bring home from Airbnbs when people leave it. They buy 3 bundles of wood and they use 2 pieces out of a bag. And I'm left with 2.5 bundles of wood. I can't leave it at the house for the next guest because if the guest isn't going to purchase the wood and the materials and everything to have a fire, they're probably not responsible. They're probably not responsible enough. So I'm not going to leave them stuff and encourage people to have a fire. No, that's bad. So we always bring the wood home. My wife, wherever she goes, if they have extra wood laying there, she throws it in the car and brings it home. She's always coming home with bundles of wood and stuff. We give it away to friends and neighbors. We went to an outing over this summer where a friend would just kind of set up a bunch of musical instruments and they just kind of hung out at Giant Rock and played. And I brought like 3 boxes of wood to burn. And he's like, hey, you want to take this wood with you? And I'm like, no, I brought that for you. You take it and use it or give it away or whatever with that wood. So I just put it in his truck with his stuff. So, and I got tons more, you know. Some stuff comes in pieces, and I've got it set up in a big wedge in the yard, big giant wedge, 6 feet high, just stacked like a big V, right? And then we've got bundles just lying all over the place, and it's good and dry and ready to burn. I mean, I've got a huge, if we put it all at once, we'd have a giant bonfire that would just light the night sky for the whole night. More than likely, it is going to go, a lot of it is going to go with me to the reunion weekend. And it will, as soon as the sun starts to go down, that fire gets lit up. If we've got a smoker and a barbecue there, that stuff is in the, is getting turned into charcoal so that it can go into the smoker, or whatever. I intend to bring a shitload of wood to the reunion for campfires. Yeah. I'm not even going to think about the reunion until I get it on the calendar, and then I'm only going to think about it on specific days. Twice a month, I'll be dealing with reunion and shirt stuff. I'll wait till orders come in, and then every 2 weeks, orders will go out. Every 2 weeks, I'll do some kind of update. Every 2 weeks, I'll do this or that. But it'll just be on a schedule. Okay, here's reunion day. Deal with reunion stuff on this day. If you're done, you got time left over, there's some further reunion stuff you need to deal with, right? And do the same thing with the channel. You know, one day a week, work on specific things for the channel. I'd like to do commercials. You know, I think it's really gonna, once I get my kind of health thing figured out, I think a lot of my my issues with my health probably come from smoking. So I think the experiment of stopping the smoking thing will probably change my life. Any plans for New Year's, asks Joey here. Yeah, we have plans. New Year's is tomorrow. Yeah. So New Year's Eve is this evening. Are we doing anything this evening? No, we are not. We're not. I'm just not big on that kind of ritual stuff, birthdays and weird holidays that deal with aging, right? If I want to travel in time, I'd rather travel backwards, man. I don't want to travel forwards. Like I've said, man, I've been betrayed by the future. This is not the future that I signed up for. And every year we get further and further into a future that it's just not right, man. It's just not right. There are elements of the now that are semi-futuristic. You know, what's his face's Starship, and smartphones, and drones, and robotic stuff, and AI stuff, and there's some kind of futuristic stuff. But for the most part, I've been betrayed. This is not the future that I signed on for. We were supposed to be going to the moon regularly by now. We were supposed to be fixed as a society, as a people. Humanity should have been fixed by now. You know, and we're just so fucking broken. So broken. Yeah. Now, we used to think about doing stuff for New Year's. My daughter will be awake. She used to not be awake for New Year's because she had school, and her school was a regular morning to afternoon schedule. So her body, her mind, everything was, you know, all about a school schedule, a daytime school schedule. Now she's all over the map. Now she's going to be awake at midnight. Easy peasy. I could be awake at midnight, but if I do that, it's going to be harder to be here the next day, and then to get up and go clean, and then come back, and it's just a my wife, unless we're out doing something and have a reason to be out and up late, she's going to go to sleep by 10, maybe 11. But yeah, we don't really have any. See, Joey doesn't do anything for New Year's. He eats grapes, which I imagine is some kind of. There's something there, something that means eating grapes. What is that? Should I call you, if you're going to call me king, should I call you Caesar? Right? Because you're eating grapes.
Chombe, where's my chocolate? Chombe.
You know who that is? A Futurama dude. The robot that looks like a slob on a couch eating grapes.
Chombe.
Oh, yeah. Totally. No, really, where's my bloody future, you know? I want my future. So I didn't get to watch many movies over the weekend. And I didn't get to watch any movies last night. South American tradition. Eating grapes. Too lazy to explain. I'll figure it out. It's like Americans eating Mexican tamales on Christmas, right? It's like my wife's white friends, or American friends, excuse me. What do you mean white? Los blanquitos. Preguntan mi esposa, ¿dónde los tamales? Everybody's like, where's the tamales? So they expect, because she's Mexican, that they expect her to traditionally make tamales on Christmas. And I'm like, there you go. There you go. The royal jester. See, now there you go. Your night manager. Yeah, now that I see. Now, I could totally see you at the Renaissance Fair out here that we go to, or used to go to in the 90s. I still have friends that go there now, and it's pretty much unchanged because it's a period piece, right? So you just put on a costume and you're there, but you would make a perfect jester.
Chumbe.
No, that would be cool. Yeah. Yeah, it would be really interesting to be able to take you around to some of the places and some of the things and that we used to do back in the 80s, right? So that you could see the complete contrast between what was fun back then and what is fun today, and what we found interesting versus what's going on. Yeah, it's just be really, really weird. But now you are the manager. See, there you go. So why don't you get yourself a court jester hat? You know, one of those funny things that looks like the fleur-de-lis with the bells on the end, right? That with the things that come down over the ears, a little strap, and then the funny shoes, the baggy pants. Yeah, there were some. Oh no, they're tights with a big cod piece, and then a big bulge in the cod piece. A cod piece is like a crotch rocket. It's like a big thing you wear over your janker. Yeah, I'll have to dig up some photos of the Renaissance Fair and one of the jesters. In fact, one of the greatest jesters there was a girl named Bonnie, and I can't remember her last name, damn it. But she actually she was really good at tightrope walking and juggling, and sire. Your boss calls you sire. Yeah, those hats are very cool. She used to wear one of these hats, Bonnie, and her and her father would do a jester thing, and they did all kinds of stuff. And she was very athletic and acrobatic and limber, and she did body manipulation where she could fold herself up into a small thing. She could walk backwards. She actually got a part in that movie, The Ring. She was the main girl, the body of the main girl, right, with the dark hair that would stand there, and then she would do all that creepy upside down stuff, right? That was her. And I would go to the Renaissance Fair with this girl back when she was 13, right? And she was just amazing back then. She played Puck in A Midsummer Night's Dream on one of the stages at the Renaissance Fair, and she was just phenomenal. But she still acts today. She still lives in her family's castle in Hollywood. Her father was in the movie The Logan's Run and played Jimmy, the little boy, or the teenage boy who's almost 15, and when you're 15 they're gonna rip your guts out, Jimmy, because you know there's no kids under 15 down here. And that was him, her father. And her mother was fantastic as well. She was a fantastic jester. But it was a family of just fantastic actors And I had the opportunity to know them a little bit during the Renaissance Fair. It was very cool. It was very, very cool. They probably just don't even remember who the fuck I was. Unless I were to put on my costume and go back in time. Then they go, oh, that guy. The crazy young weird bearded guy. Because back then in my 20s, I had a huge beard. And I was a crazy young weird bearded guy. Literally. By the time I was able to grow a beard, I did. And it was a serious fucking beard. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The good old days. Yeah, that would be the perfect place to get you one of those hats. Would be, you're probably on you probably got off and you're over right now zipping through Amazon looking for one of those hats right now, aren't you? Quit it. The Renaissance Fair out here, I believe, is April, May. I know because I believe they celebrate 420 there and May 1st. And I think it's even into June. It's like 2.5 months worth of Renaissance Fair every weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and sometimes Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And it's a hell of a. Right now, it's in Glendora, where it used to be held originally back in the 1960s, and then in the 80s, I believe, 80s, 90s, it moved to Devore, where the 15 and the 215 highway come back together in northern San Bernardino County, and it was a great place there because they had a lake and all kinds of property. I haven't been to the new one since they moved, but I really want to. I would love to go this year. I'd love to go to the Ramona pageant this year. If you don't know what the Ramona pageant is, it is an outdoor play. A 2-hour-long play outdoors using an actual ranch house and a couple of acres of property, a giant hill that sticks out of the landscape, and a big giant hillside over here, right? And then a trail that comes down out of the valley in between the two, down into the ranch with trees, and microphones are set up everywhere, and people wear. They used to set the microphones up everywhere, but now people just wear their own gear. And all of a sudden, you'll hear somebody talk, and they're standing out way up on a mountain somewhere, and they're doing their lines from atop a mountain, right? And you have to sit there and focus in on somebody way far away, in the background, and somebody in the foreground at the ranch, or somebody in the foreground that's just right out in front of you and they do dancing and horse riding and gunplay, and it is a phenomenal fucking experience, and it's all outdoors. So and it's on concrete things. So you have to bring pads, you have to bring big floppy hats, you have to bring refreshments, and it's just a huge event in Hemet, California. The first time I went to that was in the 1980s. I'm going to say 1979 or 1980. And I went with my neighbor. She was a piece writer for the Rancho Times, the Rancho California, the Californian, I think is the Rancho Californian or something like that. But she wrote for the newspaper. And nobody else wanted to go with her to this play. And I was their babysitter at the time. I was a horrible babysitter. But I was their babysitter at the time, and I was like, I don't know. I'm going to say 12 or 13, right? And so she asked me if I wanted to go, and I was honored, and they had recently taken us to see the movie Alien, so it was probably about 1980. But we got to go early and go to a dinner because they have this big giant dinner on the opening night, and we got to go to that, and they had all kinds of media people from all over the world, really, And all of the actors and the extras and the cast and the crew and everybody was there. And it was just a weird experience. So we all, came in and we got plates and sat down and people talked to people, and it was, weird. And I was a kid, and I was a weird-looking kid to boot. But nobody ever asked me to go out and do stuff like this. Nobody ever did. I mean, my brother and sister got asked out all the time with their friends, but I didn't have any friends. I had a handful of people that I knew, and they probably wouldn't call me friends at that time. But this lady, Bridget, she was a sweetheart, and she got me, I was a little fucking ratty hippie kid, and she got me. She understood me. And so we went and we did that, and we saw the play, and it was just, I think the dinner was after the play or I don't, something. The play happened during the day, and I think it was after the play we went to this big giant room somewhere else and had a dinner, right? Like a wrap, opening night wrap thing. But it was really, really, really cool. But, just to be asked to do something like that was beyond my wildest dreams. And she was a cool lady, and I really admired and respected her. Because she was a writer, and she read, and she, they were kind of counterculture hippie people, like my parents. But my father never talked to me about books or music, and never encouraged me to read and that kind of stuff. Never encouraged me to write. He encouraged me to find my shoes and get the fuck out of the house and get to school. That's what he encouraged me to do. So it was really neat to be that young and to have somebody else step in and say, hey, I can see that you have some kind of potential. Let me try to nourish that. And she did. She was very cool. And I've had a few people in my life step in and do what my father should have done or my mother should have done, right? And they just weren't there. And it was other people's parents and other people's families and brothers and sisters that stepped in and filled that void. So thank you to all of you parents that weren't parents. I appreciate it. It makes me be a good parent and try to be involved in my daughter's life every step of the way without being like right up in her face. Helicopter, 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 so, no. But she knows that, I'm always there. Even when I think when I'm not there, I'm there because then she'll be like, oh, what would Dad do? Right? So, there you go. Going in, cover me. The trash man is here. Here it comes. Idiots. There's plenty of room out there to do the trash and then to back up and leave that same way that they come in. But they have to come up this way, and they got to go by two big giant trees. My tree here and the big tree right up on the corner there. And when they get to that tree, they're usually snapping branches. That's how that tree gets trimmed. Yeah, we're going to have to find you one of those hats, one of those Jester Renaissance Fair hats. Yeah, and let your hair grow back out, because that hair growing out is really going to do that 80s thing when we start doing some 80s skits, man. And then I need to figure out how I can use my green screen special effects from my other software program, my other editing software that I still haven't used and I don't know how to use. So I need to learn how to use that and learn how to use green screen, because then all we do is we set you up with a green screen at home. You use your phone camera on a tripod, and then from my end I record and edit and do special effects and do all of that shit on my end. That's how that works. So that would be cool. So I could actually put you in a chair in a green screen and then put you into a video next to me. Right? Theoretically, of course. So that would be cool. Yeah. But, right now I don't know how to do any of that. I don't. I just don't. But I want to. I'm willing to learn. Yeah, this is my last bag of weed for a while. And it's some pretty good stuff. So I don't want to eat any edibles until I'm ready to make the change. Good to make the change. And then get off of smoking. And man, I just got this huge pain, and it totally disrupted my chain of thought. But the plan is to stop smoking for a day or two, and then go into the edibles. The only bummer is that the whole pain situation, I don't want that to get out of control and unmanageable, because then I let it go and stop smoking normally for a couple of days, and the pain gets so out of whack that even if I start smoking again, it takes a week or longer to get that pain back down to a manageable level. So I hate that. If I smoke a lot, I could usually ward off the pain. So my plan is to use the pain pills that the doctor's going to give me for a couple of days, and then switch to edibles so that I can get off of the pain pills, because that's going to destroy me physically. It's going to mess me up, slow up my system. So, yeah. I figure the first couple of days after my procedure, I'm going to do a in bed rest, binge watching and binge reading, and just kind of sit there and expect that with that much going on, I could experience some throbbing and some pain. So I'm just going to take it easy for a couple of days, and then get up and start working on some damn projects and getting busy, right? I don't need my mouth. I don't need to talk. I just need to get some shit done. And if I can't do anything else, I'm going to have to stay focused. I'm going to be house bound. It's unfortunate, but hopefully we've picked a time where it's smooth enough where my wife is not going to be put out having to do stuff by herself for a few days. Because I won't be going out until I get somewhat normalized again. Right? Even then, I don't intend on doing any socializing for a few weeks after I get somewhat normalized, because it's going to take me some time to get used to it. And I may feel like, you know what, the best I can do is this. The best I can do is be on camera, not looking directly at the camera, not opening my mouth all the way, or whatever I have to do to feel comfortable being here. I'm going to do that. I'm going to be here. I don't think I'm going to be out in the world socializing. I think the way I'm going to be socializing is going to be here on camera or via the texting, right? But thankfully I have that, you know. I mean, for a few days or a week or longer, I'm probably going to be writing stuff to my wife and daughter and texting them things because I'm just not going to feel comfortable using my mouth, right? Not that it's going to be hurting or painful. It's just going to be weird. And I'm not going to want to hear myself, really. That's pretty much it. I'm not going to want to see myself or hear myself. It's bad enough I don't want to see myself, where, you know, this is the most I look at myself every day is here. And even then, there's no real need for me to look into my eyes. I try to look into the camera, and I look up at my monitor, and I'm not looking at my eyes. I'm looking at the monitor. So it's different than looking in the mirror. So I'll probably get back to this pretty quick. But I don't expect it to be quicker than 3 weeks. I'm going to need at least 2 weeks to heal before I can think about putting some temporary dentures in my mouth and using them. And then I'm going to need a little time to get used to them being in my mouth so that I can actually function somewhat properly, somewhat normally. Wow, I didn't realize it was after 6. That's crazy, man. It's a crazy man. Crazy man, he's a crazy man. Crazy man, he's a crazy man. Oh, he's a crazy man. He's such a crazy man. Crazy man. Shut up. Alright, baby. Yeah, so like, for sure. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. OMGOT. Oh my god. Yeah. I'm hoping I got enough of the edible situation for a couple of weeks. I don't want to have to go back to that store until I get somewhat normalized. Even then, I may just send my wife in with a couple of empty bags and say, get me some of these, or whatever they got. And text me if you need anything from me. Because I'm known as the once a week guy, the guy that goes in and gets a half an ounce a week. You know, and that's a lot of weed. That's a lot of weed for anybody, let alone just a week. That used to last me a month. And that would last others, 6 months, right? And I just smoke a lot of weed, you know. Mainly because I can. If I didn't have as much, I would probably have to smoke less. But I've been there, and the quality of life sucks, right? Because I'm never quite there, right? I'm never able to go out fully at any time and function out in society and not be a hindrance to everybody else. I'm not a buzzkill, walk into a room and just start fucking screaming at people, you're all fucking idiots. And there's no denying that I walk into a room and I know that most of them there are fucking idiots, but at least I'm able to not say it and not think it 100% all the time. I can walk into a room filled with 100 strangers and not want to just go around smacking people saying, you're an idiot, shut up. Did you just say that? Did you just absolutely say that about those people? Really? How dare you? Now, Yeah.
Oh my God.
I get a little judgmental when I'm not stoned. Yeah. I tend to see the world clearly, and it pisses me off. And it tends to drive me into a rage. So by smoking a lot of weed, I don't get that. I don't go out and, I don't go out and tell the world how it is. I just let them be fucked. It's like, all right, let me just do my shopping, do what I need to do, go out into the world, go have my fun, and just kind of close my eyes to the rest of the world. Since I microdosed mushrooms a few years back and altered my happy space, I've been able to go out more and more and tune out the world, right? And make it so that it's just me. It's just me and my daughter. It's just me and my daughter and my wife. It's just me and my friends. And the rest of the world just kind of melts away into a fog, a blur, like when you see those really cool artistic photos of somebody close up and the Eiffel Tower is like just a blurry stick behind them, right? And everything is blurred out behind them. Everything, the people walking around, they're all blurred out. You can't really see anything but this one figure right out in front of you. Yeah, that's the way it is most of the time when I go out now. Everything else is just kind of there, but the people aren't. The people are just kind of a blurry wobble, That's what I like, when they're just non-existent. And then every once in a while, there's a clear face where somebody talks to me, or I talk to somebody else, and then a face emerges out of the blurry fog. Isn't that cool? Isn't that totally... No, really. Yeah. Smoking marijuana has made it so that I can function out in society. It's either that or pills, and I took pills. I took all kinds of different kinds of pills for, quite a long time. And all it did was it deadened me to the world, right? I had no emotions. Everything was flat. I experienced the first 5 or 6 years of my daughter's life were just nothing. I didn't have any emotion tied to anything, so I don't remember much. Because I was on all kinds of fucking antidepressants, and that was bogus. And antacids and all this other shit. And I finally decided, you know what, I gotta do something for me. And I got off all that shit. And had to retrain my brain. Doctors don't want you to do that. They don't want you to retrain your brain. If you retrain your brain yourself, what do you need them for? To prescribe pills? No. So I had to look inward and figure it out for myself. What makes me tick? What makes me happy? What makes me unhappy? And I figured it out for myself. And I microdosed mushrooms a few years back to finish off the whole retuning of my brain, and didn't just do it. I mean, it was like twice a week for 2.5 months, sitting by myself in a quiet place with a cup of tea and mellow music or a book or a movie or something that made me feel really, really good. And I would just go to my happy place twice a week and do nothing but feel good, and do it during a time when I knew I was going to have 6 hours by myself. And it wasn't that I was getting buzzed. I didn't even feel it, It was building up that chemical in your body a little bit at a time, and connecting that chemical with your electrical, chemical stuff going on in your brain, right? And tying those together so that you form this net of I don't know how to explain it. Positivity, this this net that you fall in. Every time you get in you fall into this net and it catches you, and you've trained yourself to just go to a happy place. Let everything else wash away. Fuck it. Don't worry about any of that. Just go to that happy place that you made for you. I could feel myself going to it right now, and it all just goes away. And that's all it takes. And wow, that I actually felt it happening inside of me. And I have to do that so that when I go out into the world and somebody pisses me off, rather than follow them around and scream at them until they get in their car and leave, I just ignore it. Okay, you're an idiot, adios, and go about my business. And a lot of people can do that normally, right? And because I've been in the position my entire life to be fucked with, and have been, by everybody and anybody, it's not easy for me to just let shit wash off, because it's just happened so many times that I'm the guy that gets fucked with, that when somebody comes along and fucks with me, I just know, no, not me. I'm not that guy anymore. You cannot do that to me. And I just stand up and start fucking screaming my rights. No, you're not going to bully me. No, you can't say that to me. No, you cannot do that to me. No, you're not going to marginalize me, cut me off, make me, an afterthought. No, fuck, you deal with me right fucking now, motherfucker. And I get a lot of that still just because of the way I look, right? I mean, you look like this and you go out into the world, more and more people like me are being accepted. It's funny where I still go out into a place and I'll show up at a counter at the same time as somebody who has perfectly groomed hair and beard and face and covered in tattoos and piercings all over, right? And we'll show up at the same time, and the person behind the counter will ignore me and address them first. I'm still marginalized, right? And other classes of people, so to speak, have been bumped up ahead of me now, who were, marginalized just like me. We were looked down on, and now I'm left behind, That's just the way it is, right? I'm going in, cover me. Yeah. At this point, I can't wait to stop smoking. I can't wait to get dentures. I can't wait to get these teeth out of my head. They don't hurt. They're just annoying. They're just doing all kinds of weird stuff now, going wonky. So, yeah. Totally. Yeah. I didn't put my coffee back on the warmer. It got cool. Uh-oh. So, it is totally Television Tuesday. Does anybody have any TV they want to talk about? We were talking about Futurama earlier. I've been watching that TV show Numbers with Rob Morrow from Northern Exposure from the 1990s. And Judd Hirsch from Taxi is in it. This guy, something Krumholtz, the younger brother on the show, really interesting guy. I love his name, Krumholtz. I can't remember his first name, Eugene or Francis or, Aristophilus or something. I don't know. But it's a really neat show. It's kind of revolves around the FBI and special investigation stuff, and using science and math especially to solve a lot of these problems, a lot of these cases and stuff. So it's just really neat, different kind of show. The characters are usually one-dimensional, and exactly what you would expect them to be, and characters that you can easily write a better character, or get a better actor, or at least direct these actors to do something different than the crap that they're doing. But on the whole, the family, the three guys, the father and the two sons that share a house together, well, they don't really share it, but they spend a lot of time in that house together, and that dynamic there is kind of what I dig about the show. That and the sciencey, mathy part, you know. And I love a good crime show. So I don't like NCI stuff, NCIS, CSI, crime scene investigation stuff. Real life stuff my wife likes to watch. Cold Case Files, and she really likes Cold Case Files. Watches a lot of that. I've seen this episode 3 times, damn it. But I don't like the fake bullshit, you know. Hawaii 5-0 and, you know, NCIS Hawaii, NCIS Los Angeles, NCIS New York, Miami, you know, the Devil's Lair. I don't know. It's just, it's all. And then there's those other ones. What are those fucking shit? I don't. Law and Order. There you go. Law and Order. There's another one. Or the one where they call the bad guys the unsubs. What the hell is that one? And it had that. It had that actor on there who was on The Princess Bride. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. That guy, I can't remember his name. But that's the same thing, you know, one of those shows where it's just all about training. I look at all of these shows as training videos for bad people, right? If I was going to be a serial killer or serial this or that, somebody who was really going to get into I would watch all of these shows, and I would go to courtrooms. I would go to school and learn crime scene investigation. I might even get a job in crime scene stuff, right? Crime scene photography, like Dexter, right? I would definitely be involved so that you know how to avoid being caught. Seems simple. So imagine if I'm just an average guy who thinks that's how I would do it. Imagine how many other people out there in the world are doing just that, right? How many people in crime scene investigation, in any of the arenas, any of the fields of work in that arena, right? Crime scene photographer, ambulance driver, morgue guy, detective, chemical analysis, right? Somebody like that, right? You would want to be in a job like that where you could be in the know, right? So you think, how many people think like that? Probably a lot. How many people just in your neighborhood are twisted as a fucking swizzle stick, right? Just mentally fucked up and have done so many horrible things, right? Right in your own neighborhood, right next door to you, right? People who you would think, oh, he's the nicest guy in the world. And that's what they always fucking say. They always say, oh, he's the nicest guy in the world. And then they found the bodies, right? That's the way it works. That is the fucking way it works. And it scares me to death to think that, and I try not to think that I could probably throw a rock and hit somebody who knows where bodies are buried, right? Oh my gosh. Seriously. Seriously. And you have to think like that, because everywhere you go, everywhere you look, 1 out of 100, 1 out of 1,000 have done just horrible things. Oh, I just got a chill. And you never know. People move around so much. It could be 1 person in 1,000 in your neighborhood. It could be 1 person in 50,000, 100,000 in your neighborhood, right? How big is our town? How big is our community? You know, let's say we've got 1 or 2 serial killers here in our town, right? And I apologize for last night's Monday night Minecrafting show, that all of a sudden it just went dead. My live feed failed right toward the end of my show. I didn't get to sign off. It was a bummer. But yeah, how many people do you think are in your town, your community? What is your demographic in your area? You know, what is the main demographic? You know, working people who work in coal mines, or people who work in auto factories, or people who, you know, deal with high finance. I mean, you know, blue collar, white collar, you know, what's going on. But most importantly, you know, where are these people from? How are they raised? You know, were they raised by fucking psychos? I was raised by wolves, man. Yeah, I mean, they weren't, they were wolves in sheep's clothing, basically. They were seemingly really, really good people. But they had a lot of dark places, right? I know, because I lived in a lot of those dark places, right? It took me forever to get out of those dark places. I'm still being pulled down into some of those dark places. But you know, so if I was raised by wolves, you know, how many others were? How many were possessed by the lessons they were taught, the horrible lessons they were taught as children, right? I was watching that documentary, Jimmy Savile, a British horror story, and how he had the whole country fooled into thinking that he was a really good guy, you know, and was actually allowed to be the president of a mental hospital, right? The president of a mental hospital, and he had absolutely no academia at all, right? In any field, let alone medicine, right? He held no degrees in anything. But he was a fix-it man on TV. He hosted the Top of the Pops, and that was it. That was his thing. He was loved and adored by men and women, young and old, right? And so to pay him back, he loved them back. I mean, he literally, you know, raped and molested men and women, boys and girls, from the ages of 5 to 75, right? Over from 1955 to 2009, for what we know. Over 500. And that's just from what we know. So it's got to be way more. There's got to be at least double or triple that. And this is a guy that everybody loved and admired and adored and wanted into their homes and would send their kids off to go play with, right? You know, Jimmy's going to get you into the club. Go play with Jimmy. He'll get you into the club, you know. And yeah, he'll get you into the club for a hand job, you know, verbatim from one of his victims, you know. How many people like that do you have just all over in positions of power and authority, you know? One of the reasons I was scared to death of power and authority as a child, because I knew what they could do to you. I knew how much control that they had. And the fact that when you look like a grubby little kid, they can do whatever the hell they want to you, and you can't say anything because who's going to believe you? They're going to believe this gentleman, this woman of authority. They're not going to believe you, this little rat-faced kid. No. And so therefore I grew up having a hard time trusting authority because they would abuse their power. They would abuse it. It wasn't, it wasn't a right, it was a gift. Authority is a gift. When you abuse it, you should be punished. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And to think that one person gets busted, one family, one mother and father, horrible mother and father, they get busted. And everybody goes, right? And I'm like, yep. How many more are in that one area there? That's just one family. That's just one guy, one mother, one father, one horrible guy, whatever it is. How many more are in that town? And then how many are in the next town and the next town? And if you do the math, right, let's use math to figure this out, like that numbers show. Figure it out. Count on your little fingers how many people you think could have the ability to kill other people, right? It's like easy peasy. There's got to be bodies buried everywhere. No matter where you go, there's got to be bodies buried everywhere. Or people who have been so horribly mistreated that they're convinced it was their fault, or they're too scared to admit anything, or they have now been changed into that horrible thing. And now they're out there doing it. And it like 1 begets 2 and 2 begets 4. And who knows how it works? It could be, it's probably everything. It's probably all of the above. You either get turned into a bad guy or run and hide, fearing some other bad guy's going to come, Very seldom do we get treated horrible and speak up. I didn't speak up my entire life, getting treated horrible by friends and family and strangers and those of authority, I was scared to death to get put into a room with a teacher or a principal or a police officer or anybody like that. And it wasn't because they had some kind of evidence against me and I was going to get in trouble or some shit like that. It wasn't like that. It was that I knew that they could do whatever the fuck they wanted to do to me. And I couldn't do a damn thing to stop it. And if they did do something to me, nobody's going to believe me. Nobody's going to do anything to stop it or change it, right? I mean, that's how it was in school. The other kids treated me like some kind of fucking alien freak. As well did the teachers and the staff. Everybody. The administration. Everybody looked at me like I was some kind of fucking freak. And very rarely did I find someone who didn't see me that way, But when you go through every single day being fucked with and looked at like you're just garbage, yeah, there's just no trust there anymore. You just cannot trust that somebody's going to give you the benefit of the doubt and think that you're worth anything, let alone conversation. I didn't learn anything in school because nobody wanted to fucking teach the little grubby kid. Nobody wanted to teach, what was that kid in Charlie Brown, Peanuts? Pigpen, right? I was Pigpen. That was me. If I had to be a character in Charlie Brown, I would be Pigpen and the black kid. That would be me, that character, rolled into one. Those two characters rolled into one. And probably Linus and Charlie. I guess I'm like all the, Lucy, I guess I'm kind of all of those characters wrapped up into one, right? The Charlie Brown Peanuts characters, because each one of those kids probably encompassed big parts of my personality when I was young, in the fourth and fifth and sixth and seventh grade. By the 8th grade, I had already rebelled, and I was becoming my own person. But for a while there, I was just scared of my own fucking shadow. And to think that I would have to go into a room and with an adult behind closed doors, I'd fucking just start crying, right? It's like, and of course they would think that I was guilty and I did something, or something horrible was happening in my life or something, and I'd just be like, I don't want to talk to you, man. Just don't talk to me, And yeah. And that just, I would wear my emotions on my sleeve, and people of authority would take advantage of that, or misread it, and then, and not understand what the fuck was going on, just not understand at all. And it was because most of the people of authority in my life didn't want to understand. They were fucking 9-to-5ers, most of the people in school. They didn't want to fucking have to deal with me after hours, or talk to my parents, or go through any of that shit, or or even call the police and say, I think there's something going on here. I mean, nobody wanted to do that, because I wasn't worth it. I wasn't worth the effort, and that's what I saw in their eyes, was I just wasn't worth the effort. So don't bother teaching him. Pass him along. He's failing, but just give him a passing grade anyway, so that we don't have to keep him around and deal with him. Right? Yep, that's it. At this point, those of authority just don't scare me. I just don't give a fuck anymore. I mean, at some point I got to the point to where I finally realized that no matter how different I am, I'm still human and they're still human, right? And that is what we have in common. And there's more built upon that than there is on personal differences, right? So it don't matter how much authority you think you have, especially over me. I don't see you like that. I don't see you as a cop or a judge or, somebody that I have to listen to, all right? You can make suggestions to me. You can make polite suggestions to me. But you can't fucking tell me what to do, no matter who the fuck you are, right? It don't matter. That's okay, that's fine. I understand that, and I'll comply and I'll go along with it. But you have to understand that you being a judge or a cop don't mean anything, right? Right? I'm my own cop. I'm my own judge, right? Any decision you make, I can make a better decision, right? About me and my life and my interaction with society, all right? If you were to say I did wrong and I need to be punished, I could come up with a more appropriate punishment than you could ever think about, right? So, yeah, those of authority don't impress me much at fucking all, because they go by old school fucking logic. And it's just ridiculous. And they go by that old school, my way or the highway. I'm the boss and you have to listen to me, and I'm the one that's in charge. And it's like, no. You have to earn that right. And just because others have said, ooh, Alibaba, I'm going to give you the charge over me. Fuck no. That don't mean that, and I didn't mean any respect by the Alibaba. I just watched a cartoon recently, which is why I said that. But that doesn't mean that you've earned that respect from me. if you're going to instantly disrespect me in the manner by which you address me, all right, then you've already lost my respect in you, right? And now you have to earn it, right? Everybody gets it. Everybody gets it instantly, automatic, my respect, right? It's a given. You're the one that takes that away by your actions and your speak. That's it. I treat everybody the same right off. It's up to you to change that. I'm not going to look at you and go, oh, right? Because that's how others have looked at me, right? I'd look at you and go, hey, howdy, and try to smile the best I can. Anybody, at any time, no matter what I feel or how I feel, right? It's up to you to make that different. Sometimes it happens instantly, where instantly I'm just like, oh, this is a fucking drag, and now I got to deal with this asshole because you just me, right? Those holier than thou fuckers really get to me. But every day I go out into the world and I give everyone that gets the benefit of the doubt, right? And it's up to them to fuck me over and then fuck themselves over, and then I'm going to treat you like shit because I ain't going for it, you know. And then the next time I see you, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Hey, new day, new challenge. Are you going to be nice today? If you're going to be that same fucking asshole, I was like, fuck you then, motherfucker. I've given you the opportunity to be nice, and you haven't. You know, and I've had to tell people of authority that, look, we've been through this before. I've talked to you a number of times, and every time I've talked to me, you've been an asshole, you know. I'm sorry to have to be the one to tell you that, but I do every day I come to you, and every day I try to be nice and polite, and, well, I've been going through, you know what, 3 times in a row? That don't make it, man. You can't give me that bullshit excuse. Apologize for being an asshole and change how you interact with me. Because I want to interact with you positively, not negatively. And you keep changing that. So please change that. Or I will stop coming here. Or I will make you have to change by getting in touch with somebody who is above you. Don't make me do that. You know? Get somebody fucking fired because, you know, they just got a bad attitude. You know? No. You know? Straighten up and fly right, motherfucker. You know? Make me come to you and have to fucking tell you how to fucking interact with people. Grow the fuck up. You know, I was raised by wolves. And I'm the nicest guy in the fucking world. You know? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Deal with your smug, stupid-ass fucking bullshit fucking attitude every fucking day. Because I have to. Right? I've had to work with people like that. And it's like, you know, I wouldn't go out of my way to be friends with you to save my life. But here I am, stuck with working with your stupid fucking ass every day. And every day I try to just go into it as positive as... And it just gets tiring when they're just... every fucking day. It's like, you know what, I'm done with this job. Well, we love you here. Everything's great. Yeah, everything's great, but I can't deal with this guy anymore. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do I fucking mean? What are you, fucking blind? Are you deaf, dumb, and stupid too? Oh. Yes, dumb and stupid. I said it. There, I said it. There I go, there I go, there I go. I found a first edition Big Fly-Right, Big Sandy and his Fly-Right Boys from 1990. Unopened. It's got the corner cut off because it went into the, what do you call it? The bin where they throw in the stuff that's going on sale, right? But the tradition was back then to cut the corner off, just a little bitty 1-inch corner off one of the ends, right? And that was how you marked it as a sale item to go into the sale bin. At least that's how I remember it. But it's unopened, right? And I'm thinking, okay, now I've got something else for my my wall, right? Because I want to do a really large frame, and I want to do my posters, and I want to do my selfies in little selfie captions, and I want to do autographs and other photos and paraphernalia and stuff. I'll probably find some of those little miniature guitars, little mini acoustic guitars, a little mini stand-up bass, a little mini drum set, right? And those little enamel pins, right, that look like guitars and drums and that kind of stuff. And they're just enamel pins, so they're flat. Kind of 3D, kind of bubbly, but mostly flat that you would wear, right? Something like that would work inside of a frame. I could just put some spacers in there and push the frame back out a little bit and dress up a really nice frame with some really nice back paper, something colorful behind it, and have my daughter help me with some design elements. That would be really cool, because I'm starting to, and I want to help her with hers, because she's got some collectible stuff that we can put together in a nice frame, add a few things. So, yeah. So I found that on eBay last night, and I ordered it. I had to. There were a bunch of people watching it, and I want to watch it. And as soon as I hit watching, I think, oh man, somebody's going to get nervous and buy it. And there was another one from Japan, and it was used and dinged up and opened, and it was like all of a sudden I kept looking, and I found this one here in the U.S. and only a few dollars to ship, and from a record place. And it was like, okay, from a record place, so it's going to get shipped properly. It's a really good price, and it's going to be less than the one that I would have to get from out of country. That would cost, just as much to ship. So I'm like, okay, my first Big Sandy and the Fly Right Boys LP, and I'm not going to open it until I have the opportunity to see Big Sandy again, and then I am gonna see what he has to say about it being unopened, and then see what he says about opening it and signing it, right? And then I'd love to get a picture of him holding it. That would be great. So I kind of thought that the whole Big Sandy experience was kind of winding down, but it's not yet. It's still kind of holding on. It's still Vienna. It's still hanging in there, which is pretty cool. It hung around a lot last time we saw Big Sandy, or the first time we saw Big Sandy, and I'm still feeling it. I'm still excited about having been there at the show. It's still fresh in my memory and my emotions and stuff, and that's pretty cool. 7 a.m. We are in the last hour of the show here. Yep. Awesome sauce. Yeah. Big Sandy and his Fly Right Boys. So I looked around, and yeah, there's a few other LPs out there that I want to try to get of Big Sandy and the Fly Right Boys. He has a lot of CDs, and it's real easy to get the CDs, I guess. But I want the Joey knows what I'm talking about. I want the LPs. I want the records. Especially since he's been making them since 1990. I think this is the first, and it's just really cool. The design, it totally looks 1950s. It's really awesome. Yeah. I'm really excited. I can't wait for it to show up. I'm really excited about it. So we'll see. Hopefully, fingers crossed, everything goes, you know how that happens. Things happen. So hopefully it'll get here unmolested. And everything will work out. Oops, pardon me. But, you know, that's it. That's it for a while. So I think I'm going to do that, and then, yeah. I still want to figure out about putting all of his CDs onto these reel-to-reel tapes that I have back here, because I've got a bunch of these brand new unopened reels, and while I probably won't use these Scotch ones, I'll probably use the realistic super tape ones, mainly because I can get 5 of the same kind, right? 5 in a row of the same exact tape, the same exact reel. What I would really like to do is figure out what 2 CDs I'm going to be putting onto a tape, and then take the longest and go to that, and then cut the tape down to that, and put feeder leader tape on both ends, and then record it onto that, so that when you turn a tape over, there's not much space on one side between the end of the music and the end of the tape, so to speak. Yeah. You know, and then on one side it can say, I can even put in a little voice DJ thing that says, please fast forward the tape till the end and play the next side. Or maybe at the end, please rewind. But yeah, I still want to do that, because that's one of those little pet projects that'd be fun to do. I really need to plan a calendar and focus my schedule on getting shit done. There's so much stuff that I need to transfer to digital. There's so many things I need to get accomplished here in the studio, right? And I think if I plan things better and stick to a schedule, I could probably carve out a better sleep schedule, which would allow me more time during the day to actually stay focused on stuff. Like last night, I didn't get a great night's sleep. I was up and down. I probably laid down for about maybe 4 or 5 hours max, and I probably slept through about 3 of that. Well, maybe 4, because of the sound machine helping me to get back to sleep after I get up and go to the restroom and come back in, or just when I'm sleeping and I wake up and have to readjust and then go back to sleep. And that happens probably twice an hour, where I wake up thinking, I can't sleep like that anymore, I'm uncomfortable, and I have to flip to my other side and sleep like that until I wake up and think, I'm uncomfortable and I gotta move over to the other side. And it happens all night long. All night long. All night long. All night. Oh yeah. Oh, all night long. No, really. Oh yeah. No, really. All night. Shut up. There, I said it. And if I said it, I must mean it. Because I don't usually say something unless I mean it. Oh man, now I got Lionel Richie in my friggin' head. Everyone you meet, they're damning in the street all night long, all night, oh yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I was just jamming in my head. It happens on occasion. I will slip into my own world and start to boogie, baby. Yeah, my wife and daughter see that all the time. All of a sudden, I'm just, and they're like, "But there's no music on. There's always something going on up here." That's the thing. I've always got some kind of internal monologue. Not so much so anymore. This last year, I've externalized my internal monologue, and I turn it on, and I keep it on now. Usually, I would keep it off, and then I got into the morning show, and it took me a while to get to where I could show up in the morning and just go from internal to external, right? And I would just turn it on and start talking, and then after the show, I would kind of turn it off, and I'd kind of go back into my own little world. And then my wife and daughter, I'm sure they've seen me totally come out to where I come out of the show, and I stay on, I stay out, I stay externalized more and more and more. Now I'm always on. I'm always on. I'm always externalized. My inner monologue is pretty much on the speaker all the time. So I really see it because my wife and daughter, they're always laughing. They're always laughing all the time. Well, not all the time. That would be, I'd have to take them to a doctor. But, yeah. And I feel better every day. I mean, I feel more like myself. I feel more like actually speaking and not just hiding in a corner or burying myself in the TV or a book or something, or the computers. And I spend a lot of time in here on the computers, but I'll be like, oh, give me a second, and I'll fucking close shit up or set shit up to do something, and then I'll go hang out, right? And yeah, and it's a lot more fun, and I actually socialize better at home too, as well as going out into the world with strangers, with friends. I'm going in. Cover me. Totally. Yeah, you know what? Smoking since I was 15. I mean, it's probably too little, too late at this point, but I got to give it a shot. I mean, I gave up cigarettes so that I could just smoke pot, but I think I blunk. Yeah, I don't think it's the camera. The whole marijuana going legal thing, and not so much its ease of access, but who knows what's in what now? Who knows what they're putting into the marijuana to make it grow big and stinky and strong and powerful, right? Probably a lot of stuff. Probably a lot of stuff that ain't good for you. So, that's probably a big bummer. And I can't do that anymore. So I got to try to get away from it. Like I said, probably too little, too late. But at this point, at least if it gives me a little more quantity, because so far I've just been looking at quality of life rather than quantity of life. Now I need to start thinking about a little bit of both. Quality of life because of the amount of pain that I've had to deal with in the last 10 years or so. So my main focus has been pain management. how to manage my pain and function and earn a living and survive, and all that entails, all that implies. Yeah. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? If you look at this TV monitor here, you can see right there, that's the reflection, that light thing right where my beard is, right there. That's the reflection of our sofa. Because I've got the light on in the living room shining its light in here. I should just have a light on in here, but then it gets so bright and powerful. Maybe I'll try that tomorrow. I'll try a different lighting tomorrow and see what I can do. Maybe I'll put a filter on this light here and turn it on and see what happens. Yeah. But I'm not going to fuck with it now. But and then just above that sofa, you can see where my nose is now. You can see the reflection of the window. So that's kind of annoying. I don't want to pull that curtain because I've got a plant over there on top of that stereo. At some point, I'm going to rework some cameras for the next season here. And we will kind of have a different look at things. Things will have a different look, a different appearance. I really want to dress this place up so that I can go from camera to camera walking around the room. Not that I have anyone to sit here and push the buttons, but yeah, what I need is one of those devices that you wear and one camera follows you, right? And wherever you're at, you're walking around and that camera follows you because it's looking at that device. And then with that device, you can zoom in and out and decide where to zoom in and out, right? That they have those for drones too, I believe. But that would be probably an addition to the studio that would help, so that I could say, all right, I'm going to the roving cam, and then I hit that thing and it's pointed at me here and it follows me as I get up and walk around the room, and just kind of have it in a central location where it can pick me up wherever I'm at in the room at a decent distance, right? And I've got a pivot point in my room here where it would work probably the best, right? Right about where just behind this tree here. But that would be cool. That would be cool. But aside from that, you know, I need a few more camera angles, and then I can just hit a camera and have it slow crossfade over to where I'm going, and then you see me walk into the set and sit down, and then that's that. And have a couple of alternate microphones set up and be able to switch sound. Yeah, that'd work pretty cool. So fingers crossed that the whole scheduling thing isn't going to screw me up as far as doing as much as I want to do for my channel. I always seem to bite off more than I can chew. So my plate, I always overfill it, and then I can never finish it. So I need to try to get onto those things that are important, that I really need to deal with, right? The reunion commercial stuff, and I may actually hit you up, Joey, to be my voice for some of this stuff. Really, if you're serious, I'm serious. So, or doing something on camera. You never know. Because I need to get that rolling. And I need to, you know, it would be nice to have a face, a spokesperson. So, and you've had a little work in the theater arts in school, so maybe behind the scenes and stuff, but still, yeah. And, you know, I'm sure you're like me. You like to dress up and do costumes and different stuff. I'm talking real life costumes, you know, like wardrobe type stuff, like, ooh, I want this jacket, or I want this shirt or something, because it makes me feel like this, right? So that's neat, and that's kind of where I am with vintage clothing and dressing up like that, putting on a costume. It's like, what am I going to wear to this? What am I going to put on for that? So that's pretty cool. So yeah, we should talk more about it. Definitely. But yeah, I think I'm going to get out today and do calendars, because it's the last day, and I think this is probably the best day to just get it and get a couple of calendars up. And I've already got a calendar here somewhere for this year, but it's more of one to hang up in front of me so I can see kind of what day it is. What holiday is it? That kind of a thing. But I need one calendar on the wall that says, okay, this is what your schedule is. You know, this is what you need to focus on today. Don't focus on anything else. Focus on this. Use all of your time for this. Don't worry about that. That's scheduled for another day, kind of thing. And I need to get into that kind of mentality in order to get shit done. Yeah. I'll have a special projects day, and then I will write in things to work on that day until I'm done with that, and then start another special project. Yeah, I just got a twinge of hunger here. Uh-oh, I'm a gas factory now. I always get the burps when I get hungry. It's that acid starting to say, hey man, put something in here. And I have no idea what to put in there. I have no idea. Last night, my wife made this big barbecued pork shoulder thing that was dry rubbed with sauce and everything, and then baked. And it was really, really good. And she baked it for like 3 hours. And it was really juicy and tender and fell apart. And it was great with, even though it was kind of barbecuey, it was great with tortillas and Texas-style ranch beans. That I don't remember what they're called, but that's what I call them. Maybe that's what they're called. But it was really, really good. And then she made a chocolate cake. And then later in the evening, I'm like, I need cake. So I went in there and frosted it. My daughter's like, nope. I am not getting up from the, don't even talk to me. I'm not getting up. I'm playing a game. So I was like, all right. So I frosted the cake. I don't even think she had any last night. It was really good. It was really good. I had a big, giant glass of milk. I can only drink milk in the evenings before bed. But when I do, I love, something really, really good and sweet. And I only used about a third of a tub of frosting to frost it, because it was a bundt cake, So I just frosted right around the top, and it was really good. It was really good. But I have to hint, if I've mentioned it a couple of times and there's no chocolate cake sitting there, then I'll take the box out of the cupboard and I'll set it on the counter. I'm thinking about making a cake, which I'm too lazy to make a cake. I made so many fucking cakes. And I will, on occasion, I will make a cake. I'd rather cook a dinner than make a cake or make a dessert or something. Unless I'm going to make something really weird that I've never made before, that I got to use recipes and ingredients and stuff, then that's fun. That's a challenge. If it's just a cake out of a box, add this and this and bake, then it's like, I've been there, done that. I want to eat it, but I don't want to bake it. And my wife's like, that fucker wants cake, damn it. Makes a cake, sets it on the counter. There's your damn cake. Thank you, dear. Thank you, honey. She's a sweetheart. She spoils me. I don't know why. I don't know why at all. Yeah. I'm just an old fucker. But I'm trying. I'm really trying. Yeah. And I'm just trying to stay positive and to do positive. Stay positive, do positive, think positive, be positive, 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 positive. Yeah, I'm going to attract the lightning here. So that's what I'm doing. Positive. What else can you do, right? I mean, I've been negative my whole life, really. So I gotta try the other side. You know, I gotta come to the light side. I gotta be positive. Sometimes it really is difficult and it hurts to break from that. Oh, I just want to be negative, right? Oh man, and I just gotta do it. Just gotta do it, man. You gotta do it. Just do it. Just fucking do it, man. Just do it. You spend your whole life pissed off at the world. It's hard to embrace it. It's really, really hard. Really hard. I get into a crowd of people and I just try to stay positive, you know. And I see my daughter interact with the world and I'm like, wow, that makes me feel really good that she's so positive, right? I mean, these girls were at the right in front of the stage where we were, right next to us, at the big Sandy and his Fly Right Boys show at Pappy and Harriet's. Call for tickets now. And it was, I come back from the bathroom and my daughter is talking to them and taking pictures and giving hugs and all that stuff. And I'm like, wow, that made me feel so good that she could just have that positive interaction with a stranger, you know, and be laughing and stuff. And I just felt, it made me feel really good, you know, because her being focused so much on her schooling, I don't really get to see her outside of that element, right, too often. Lately, in the last few years, I really have been able to go out and see her more and more. But it's different when I can see her from afar and watch her interact. That's neat. That's because I'm absolutely the only influence I am there in her presence is from within, right? And what kind of influence have I been is determined on how she interacts with people, strangers, right? And I see that I am a positive influence in her life. So that is really important to me. That makes me feel really good, not just as a father, but as a human. That I have done my best and have done somewhat good by this other human, and have, you know, helped instill in this person or nurture in this person good qualities, right? And that makes me feel really good and positive, you know. And every once in a while she'll get that from me where she'll hear me go, I love you, and I'll give her the, you know, you're so awesome, and she'll be like, what? What did I do? What are you talking about? Oh, I'm just so proud of you. And I am. I'm very, very proud of my daughter. I'm very, very proud of you, Natalie. You're an awesome person. Best daughter in the world, and an awesome person to boot. So, yeah. She's got a great future ahead of her. Just in her ability to find happiness, I think, is the most important thing. Whatever she does, as long as she can be happy in what she's doing, I think that's where the key is one thing: be happy. So as long as she continues to find things to make her happy, doing the things that she has to do to be responsible, balance, focus, drive, yeah, she's gonna be just fine. And that makes me feel good. And I told her the other day, you no matter what happens in life, you stay with your mother. You know, until the end. You and your mom, buddy, friends forever. Wherever you go, whatever happens in your life, you keep mom there. You keep mother-in-law, whatever she becomes, you keep her there. Grandma, you know, or just, you know, roommate, you keep her. Because, you know, she's a very special person too. And between the two of you, you got anything licked, right? So that was one of my lessons, my requests to her, was to just stay together no matter what. You know, okay, Mom, it's time to do this now. Let's do this. And make sure that, you know, that even if she has other things going on in her life, Mom is there. In some fashion, Mom is there. Mom goes along, or Mom stays at home, but Mom is there, right? Because she's very, very important, and I want that multi-generational facet to remain a part of our lives, right? And it's going to be great when Grandma comes to visit. I'm hoping that all of that works out, but Grandma should be coming to visit in the next few months, I would imagine. And that whole generational thing happening, 3 girls in the same house from 3 generations, very far apart, right? Yeah, my mother-in-law is 90-something. My wife is 50-something. And our daughter is 20, soon to be 20-something, right? So those are some huge generational gaps there, right? 20 to 30 year, 30 to 40 year differences, right? In either direction. And that's cool. So to see the 3 of them sitting on the couch, hanging out together, I'm just going to sit here and go, right? I don't know what you're saying, but I'm going to have to put on a fucking translator just so that I can understand what the hell is being said. And I might do that. You know, I might find some kind of, have my daughter hook me up with some kind of translation app that I can set there in the conversation and listen to or read, right? Something. Because this is going to be one of those once in a lifetime experiences that we were, you know, really, really honored to be given the opportunity to host both her mother and father here a few years back. And we had them here for 2 or 3 weeks. Not as long as we wanted them here, but they were just in demand, right? So we're hoping that because my brother-in-law is now within an hour of here, that we can host Mom here and have brother-in-law over here all the time, you know. So my wife and her brother and mother all in the same town is going to be awesome. So I can't wait. I'm still going to be doing this stuff. At some point every morning, I may be doing this with my mother-in-law sitting over there having coffee and bread every morning, right? You never know. I hope that I'll get the opportunity to get my wife to interview her on camera, right? That would be something that I would have wanted to do with my father had I the technology or the means or even the forethought to put on a camera phone or something like my cousin did with my father. So something, right? So I want to try to take the opportunity to do something like that. Get them together, get them all three on the couch, and have them talking about each other and each other's past and history and, you know, the things that people don't normally discuss, you know. How did you meet your husband? Where did you guys, when did you get married? This kind of stuff, you know. But also, you know, the little things. And some of those stories that have been around, but, you know, let's hear your version of this story. I don't know how. I'm going to have to let my wife and daughter take charge of figuring out what to talk about, you know. But it would be really neat to take that and then kind of put together some kind of video and then, you know, share it with the giant family. All right, I'm going in again. Totally. Of course, I won't be sitting here doing bong hits with Grandma Gomez sitting there. That's not going to happen. No, ma'am. No, sirree. Which is another good thing for switching to edibles, is I will lose this disgusting habit. Because smoking anything is horrible. Cigars, cigarettes, cloves, marijuana, sage. It don't matter. You're smoking it. You're smoked meats. Even my incense is horrible, right? All the incense is just secondhand smoke. You know, last hot swaller here. Good to the last drop. And hot. Hot. Good stuff. So, we're going to go into this next year with a huge surge of positivity. I don't expect the year to be completely positive. No year is. I expect to go through a lot of shit this year. So I'm just going to try to stay upbeat and as positive as possible by focusing on getting shit done. Getting shit done with the channel, with the reunion, with special projects, trying to digitize as much family video and audio as I can. And I just have to get into a regiment. Okay, look, I've got this stuff set up. Here's the station to do this. Here are the machines from which to pull the data. Here's how it goes into the computer. Bada bing, bang, boom, play, record, go. And try to do as much of that as possible. I am going to look into how to create a makeshift low voltage lab oven. Basically, it is diffused heat lamps inside of a metal box with a thermostat on it. And it's not, I don't want to use heater coils because that's going to get too hot. I need low voltage, which means light heat lamps, light bulbs that heat up, but they don't get past a certain temperature. They create X amount of temperature. That's what I need. So I need to look at the specs on how to build a low voltage lab oven, because the cheapest one I found is like $500 or $600, and that's before shipping, right? I can't do that, and that's for a used one. I'm thinking, well, fuck. They don't look all that complicated. It's literally a metal box with lights down below, a diffused grill, and a place in the middle to put something, right? And that's it. That's all I need. And I need to take these old videotapes and I need to put them in this lab oven, and I need to bake them. And I need to bake them at a specific temperature. And you adjust the temperature in this lab oven just by opening up vents to release temperature or closing vents to increase temperature, right? And that's it, just like a barbecue. And I think if I keep it simple, I can create one hell of a small lab oven by utilizing a few different odds and ends and then buying a few actual lights, right? So that's where I'm at now, because these tapes get old, and then when we put them in through the old machines, the magnetic tape kind of peels off and flakes, and you lose stuff. So I've already played these things once, and I don't want to do them again until I get them baked. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to figure out how to bake these things without hurting them, because the low voltage, you don't get them hot enough to hurt them. You just get them hot enough to recure the magnetic tape with the information and everything back together, so that when you play it, after you've cleaned the heads on these things, you play it and it's less likely to have issues. So that's the fact, Jack. So I'm going to be putting that on the schedule. You know, the digitizing of videotapes is going to begin with the process of baking the videotapes, cleaning the head on the machine, making sure that it plays. Take a brand new tape, old stock, and bake it and play it and work it and see how it records and how it plays back and all of that, right? And then take a non-important old tape with stuff on it, the color bars, and put that one in there and play it and see how it goes. Make sure it tracks correctly and it works. And then start working my way up to the most important tapes. And if I begin and start to fail at this, well, then I know I need to take it to somebody professionally and have them do it. But I'm figuring that I should be able to MacGyver a lab oven, and I've got the proper machines, and I've got the proper equipment for digitization and all of that. So it's just a matter of setting up a workstation and making it all jibe together, right? And, oh, geez, the house is waking up. So that's kind of where I'm at there. So that's just got to go on that calendar, go on that schedule. This is how this is going to work. You know, let me get, and then just devote one day to that. And then just stick to that freaking schedule, because that's, it's to the point to where it's tick, 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 tick. I can feel it ticking down. So I really have to stay focused and stay diligent and stay awake, And, oh, here comes the dog. What's up, Samuel? What's going on, dude? Hi, bud. Yep, the place is waking up. It is just about time to sign off and eat breakfast and hang out with the wife. She's got to take off this morning. Of course, I neglected to wake her up because it's not on my alarm for Tuesdays. So, my bad, but not really. So, she's probably just going to run out the door. But I gotta run right after 8 o'clock. I've got to eat breakfast and get cleaned up and get dressed and shoot over to a house to get it ready for monthly tenants now. So I've just got to do a little bit of handyman work. So I've got to grab some tools. and I should probably make my thing and then write tools so that I can remember to bring stuff to work on. I got to tighten the faucet in the kitchen. I already cleaned the filter in the dishwasher. Let's see. I've got to change the knob on the closet. I got to empty the closet. I got to do a bunch of other crap there, and then leave a nice note. But other than that, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, I'll have to grab a clipboard here and take it with me, and leave a note. Hi, Sam. Good morning. Good morning, Sam. You got an itch? You're making me itch. Hi, bud. Totally. Anyways, orale. Coffee's gone. Just about done doing bong hits for this morning. My pain is like sitting on the couch over there next to me, which is cool. It's still here. I can still feel it, but I don't give a shit about it anymore. There we go. Let me take my pants and my shirt off of Sammy's bed so he can get up. And then he can get under his blanket, because that's the way Sammy likes to do it. Right, Sam? You're such a good buddy. Sam's the best buddy. He's the best buddy. Yeah. So I get to go over and be handyman this morning. I got to also put dishes away and tidy up a little bit. Probably sweep and mop. But other than that, what do I have planned? I finished uploading that week. I will probably upload a bunch of things this morning before I go, and then upload a bunch more this evening when I have a chance, and try to stay on top of that, as well as working on whatever most immediate video project is I'm going to be working on. And I think continue to upload stuff until I'm at least 2.5 months out, 2.5, 3 months, and just keep pushing that out as much as I can, knowing that I've got time to take a break from that to do other stuff, and not lose too much ground here on the YouTube front. Vienna. But gosh, here, see, I'm gonna get covered up now. There you go, mister. Lort, L-O-R-T, Lort. Yeah, anyway, give me a few minutes. I'll be right back. All right, my wife says there's probably nobody here. But I'm thinking maybe Joey's still here. I can't often see his number here pop up where it says somebody's watching. Usually it's just me watching myself. But I don't know, he might have fallen asleep. Hey, Joey, you still there? My wife says, there ain't nobody there. What are you bothering with that thing? Turn it off. Nobody's watching. Nobody wants to watch some crazy old weird bearded guy. I do have a new subscriber, so I appreciate that. I don't know who it is. I hope it's... I can only hope that it's somebody from the weekend, somebody from Saturday. That would be really nice. If somebody from the weekend that I've met recently or had the opportunity to meet again, hint, hint, maybe... if I'm really, really lucky, that person has subscribed because they get me. They understand what I'm doing, how my weirdness is. You know, that's always cool. So I can only hope. But anyway, yeah, there you go. And I see I have no response in the comments so far. So I'm really not sure if there is anybody watching. Is there anybody watching? Hello? Is this thing on? Hello? Cover me, I'm going in. And that's how you do that. Yeah, we'll have to find Joey a jester hat. A 15th century, 16th century jester hat from the royal court. Something colorful with bells and stuff. Maybe I can find a pattern, you know, because those are really cool. They're kind of poofy. They actually have padding in them, and they feel like a pillow. The ones that are done correctly, they're actually kind of poofy and padded, and they stand up and do all kinds of cool stuff. And a lot of times they're made of like a velour, like a felt type material, colored stripes and polka dots and whatnot. So I'll have to look into that and see what the traditional hat looked like versus, you know, favorite colors and favorite materials and that kind of stuff. Because that'd be neat. That'd be kind of cool. With little special touches and stuff and whatnot, you know. Yeah. You know. All right. Well, let me see. I guess I should start thinking about getting stuff booted up here. I got a boot. Yep, there it is right there. So Old Time Radio Wednesday is tomorrow. So be sure to tune in because there's always lots of stuff to listen to. I'm not doing a New Year's show tomorrow. I'm not doing anything fancy. My schedule was too weird over the weekend, and I want to kind of do that thing Thursday and Friday. So I'm kind of trying to gear up for that, and trying to get stuff done here, end of the year channel stuff, and so far I'm pretty good. I'm programmed right up into the last week of February, and that one is just about ready. So I'm excited. I'm excited to be into the new year, positively doing good, positive stuff. I'm just positively positive. Shut up. All right, people. I guess it's that time of the day when I've got to get the hell out of here. I'm going to go out and pump the day up and make it fantastic. Stick around, see what goes on. Television Tuesday, so be sure to watch your favorite old-time television show today. Something pre-90s, preferably. I've been watching a little bit of the 90s recently. So Okay, people, let me go ahead and roll end credits, and you know what to do. Go out into the world, right? Be a positive force, a force of positivity, absolutely, all right? So do that, absolutely do that. Yeah, be good, be kind, spread peace and love, not bullshit. Do something for yourself, but just as much, do something for somebody else, all right? Because we are not alone in this world. We are together on this, so act like it. Take care of each other, all right? Most especially stay weird, because if you ain't weird, ain't nobody gonna be weird for you. All right, people, I love you so much. Thank you so much for being around this year. It's been a long year. Almost 180 episodes, 180 coming up Friday. So stick around, see what's going on. Thank you so much. Have a good day. I will see you tomorrow. Bye now, people. Adios. See you later.